All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings be unto the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. This is the Bari Yakanan from the GMS England branch. This is going to be, a fairly brief video, a brief lesson. And inspiration is drawn from this episode of Pop the Balloon or Find Love. And there's been many, moments, where content from this channel have gone viral. And, this show, like other shows, similar to it, it really does display, the toxic relations, between man and woman, which has ultimately been created and engineered in society, by Esau Edom, the wicked elites of Esau Edom, via way of, feminism and via way of, empowering, these women to go around the authority, of the man, as it tells us in the scriptures, a woman shall compass a man, okay? So these shows, really do display that, in action, okay? But also, you see certain times how in this show in particular, you have, men that put women in their place, all right? And it's very satisfying to watch. And that's why, more and more men, are tuning into, shows of this nature, to actually see that in motion. Okay? Because, these women are losing power and these women are being exposed, for what they really are. And that's another, identifying mark showing, that we're at the end, of this man's kingdom, Because not only is Esau Edom, losing power and being exposed, but the woman is also losing power and being exposed in these last days, all right? Naturally, because, her sugar daddy, Esau Edom, is losing his power. So naturally, that's going to trickle down, upon the woman, and especially, the so-called black woman, who, by the way, is the least desired woman upon the planet Earth. Okay, and that's just a fact, and that's a terrible thing to say, but it's the truth. Okay, and that's the state of the so-called black woman upon the earth. She's the least desired woman upon the earth, man, and that tells you a lot. So without further delay, I'm gonna play this clip, and then we'll get into a few scriptures, and then we'll close out.
One more. Okay, let's start with the first one you popped. So, Sativa, why did you have your balloon unpopped for him?
He's handsome, and I was just kind of waiting to hear more.
Okay, got it. So
now, all of these women, mass majority of these women on this show, they have tattoos all over their bodies. As you can see, they're all inked up. They have piercings all over their face and their cheeks, and they just look, they look a mess, all right? They look a blatant mess. They don't look feminine. They don't exert any, feminine traits. And, these are the women, that men are breaking their backs for, that men are, selling their souls for, that men are, dying for. And, this is why, another reason why this kingdom has got to be destroyed. Okay? This is another reason why, this kingdom has got to be totally destroyed through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. All right? Because this is just totally unacceptable. All right? But it gets worse.
Why do we end up popping hers?
I bet I could guess, but go ahead.
What would you say?
Probably all the stuff on my face.
The tattoos?
Yeah.
I like
Piercings.
tattoos. I got some too, but you got some in some.
So, take a look at this woman's face, man. And even the woman beside her, These women, clearly, have spirits, messing with them. Okay? And that has come out, in their image and how they look. What's going on in their mind, is being manifested, in the flesh. She looks crazy. She looks absolutely crazy. How can you take someone like that serious? How can you possibly take a woman like this serious? That has, tattoos all over her body. All right. And you know what? Let's get the scriptures. All right. Because, we could talk about that all day, but it's in the scriptures. Let's get it. Because the scriptures speaks about, making cuttings in your flesh. All right. So let's get this right quick. This is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 28. And it says, "Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord." Okay. And in the NLT it says, "Do not cut your bodies for the dead, and do not mark your skin with tattoos. I am the Lord." Okay. So that is in violation, of the Holy Scriptures. Okay? To have tattoos is in violation of the Holy Scriptures. That's not something that we're supposed to be doing. Now, of course, hey, you have brothers with tattoos that, have amassed that in the world. All right? But when we come into this truth, we are born again in Yahweh Shai. All right? But tattoos, that's a common trait of Jake in the world. They love, getting inked up, all right? Which is also bad for your health. Now let's carry on watching.
You got some in some areas that I'm not sure my mom.
Face.
The tattoos?
Yeah.
I like
Piercings.
tattoos. I got some too, but you got some in some areas that I'm not sure my mom would kind of approve. She kind of be.
And this woman is unpresentable. She's totally unpresentable. She looks a mess. Her clothing is off. She just looks loose. She looks totally loose and unacceptable, man. And to be quite frank, we're sick of seeing this, man. We're sick of seeing, you so-called black women just totally out of order and doing what you want. That's why we want this kingdom to go down. All right, the scriptures speak about, women having modest apparel. I believe it's in 1 Timothy. All right, let's get that right quick. Right? So this is 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. And as you can see, it says women instructed. Now it says in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness, with sobriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Okay? So when you look at these women on this show, and women in public in general, they don't dress in modest apparel. Okay? The most modest dressed woman, in this lineup that you see here is the woman in the black. Because her dress, actually goes all the way down to her foot. Okay? But this is just a hot mess. What you can see is pure flesh, pure tattoos, piercings all over their face. Okay? And they just look a mess. This is unacceptable, man. All right? But this is what our people, our women have become. And that's why this place, has got to be destroyed. But these are all identifying marks as to who we are as a nation of people. Because this is actually prophecy that our women would be out of order and would be in this state in these last days. Okay, so it's also an identifying mark. All right. So again, it says in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness. Now, women are not shamefaced in this kingdom at all, especially the so-called black woman. Okay? Now, women of the other nations, they're much more shamefaced than the so-called black woman. Okay? Because the black woman is just brazen, you know? The black woman, you know, has got a masculine, you know, spirit upon her, man. And that's not a good thing. You know, no man wants to lay up with a woman, be involved with a woman that has a masculine spirit. All right? Something ain't right there. Okay? Now, let me go into this word, shamefacedness. All right? Because if a woman is shamefaced, that's an excellent, you know, quality for a woman to possess, is being shamefaced.
Strong's G 127, idos.
So it says a sense of shame or honor, modesty, bashfulness, reverence, regard for others, respect. Okay? Yeah, that's how a woman's supposed to be. You know, a woman is not supposed to be all up in your face, you know, various different hand movements all up in your face, you know, trying to talk over you, you know? Skin, you know, showing, you know, tattoos all over her body. That is not shamefaced. You know, these women are trying to be seen. They're desperately trying to be seen. They're desperately trying to be heard. Okay? That's not a good trait, you know, for a woman to have. You know, women are supposed to be in silence, as it tells us in the scriptures, man. All right? The scriptures say, I suffer not a woman to teach. All right? The occupation of a woman is to take the back seat and let the man, you know, lead. Okay? Any woman in her right mind, that's what a woman would do. All right, now let's carry on watching, because it gets worse.
Or my mom would kind of approve. She kind of be like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I have my own thoughts about that whole concept,
for
but
sure.
I definitely respect that.
Yeah.
I'm
mean,
an
especially
artist.
Now again, for a woman, you know, to stand there looking like this, you got spirits on you. You know, you are plagued in the mind. Okay? To decorate your skin permanently to look like that, you are plagued in the mind.
with you being an artist, it makes sense.
Yeah. And I actually have like other things too.
Other things like what?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Let me rewind that, man.
And I actually have like other things too.
other things like what? Oh,
He said, oh shit, and he had to step back. She split her tongue in half. She's actually cut her tongue in half.
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
an
especially
artist.
with you being an artist, it makes sense.
Yeah. And I actually have like other things too.
Other things like what? Oh,
Nah.
I got so many questions.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're going to save that for another day. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next lady.
Yeah, she's clearly got spirits on her. You know, she cut her tongue in half. Which you mostly see, you know, bugged out Edomites doing shit like that. You know, turning themselves into lizards and, you know, snakes and shit. You know, cutting up their flesh, cutting off their fingers, cutting off their earlobes and shit. You know, mostly Edomites do stuff like that you see in these documentaries and stuff. But here you have an example, you know, of a so-called black woman that has, you know, gone down that lane. I'm sure there's many others, you know, of them that doing shit like that, man. But again, this just shows you that, you know, we got to get out of here, man. All right? We got to get the hell out of this wicked-ass kingdom, because that is terrible. That's unacceptable. Let me try and get a close-up of that, man.
And I actually have like other things too.
other things like what?
Look at that. You know? She's cut her tongue in half. She's mutilated her tongue, and she looks like a demon. You know? And you're supposed to kiss that? You're supposed to lay down with that? You're supposed to have children with that? You know? Hey, man. I'm going to close out. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Akar Kodash. Shalom until the next one.